Hey, what's going on, everybody? I hope you're doing good. I hope you're able to get out in the water and fish. I'm going through a lot of baits myself and getting out next week. Hopefully, looks like the weather has finally turned favorable. Hopefully, Old Man Winter has loosened his grip. I posted a bait on Instagram. It got a lot of attention, and a lot of people were messaging me about it. So I wanted to cover it real quickly here on my channel. Let you guys get a closer look at it. Um, it's a bait company from Spain, and their name is Longues, if I said that right, or Longues, you might say, you might pronounce it. And they have several different variations of this bait. It's a very unique bait, and the first time I saw it, I really liked it. Here's one variation of it. Um, you might call this you know, a, a, a swim bait, to be honest with you, a swim bait rig. But what they've done is, you can see it right here. Let that focus in on it. And what I've got is some context on there. I believe it's 3.8, 3.3. And you can change that, of course, to what the fish are telling you. Here's one without it. And what it is a swim bait hook. This is a 3/4 ounce green pumpkin. And it's a swim bait head with a hook. And they've got two wires that come out of the head. Let you look at that. And they've got like CPS clips in a sense with the little screw locks. And you just take and you screw your swim baits on there that you want to throw. And now you've got you a nice little schooling representation that actually does well. I have fished this rig I've got limited use with it, but I have fished it. They do catch fish. I would say anytime you're throwing a umbrella rig or an underspin, that this will come into play. Here's another model they have. This has got the underspin on it. So, as you can see, this has got some of my favorite swim baits on it. This is Daiwa duckfin shad. This is a 3.5 inch, and these are twos, or they might be 2 1/4. Excuse me. But anyway, this is a 1/2 ounce. As you can imagine, this is a very unique bait. Fishing on the bottom, if you've located you some brush piles or any kind of cover that you have found on structure being the bottom of the lake, cover being brush piles, rock, riprap, laydowns, what have you. These right here will get you bit if, let's say, it's a lot of pressure, or you have fished traditional underspins and that bite has slowed down. I can tell you from bass being opportunists, if they see a single underspin come by with just one swim bait, and then they see something like this come by, they're going to attack this. They're going to go for this 9 times out of 10. Not always. That's not written in stone. But they're opportunists, and they love to hit. They love to get a chance to eat 2 or 3 versus 1. And as you can see, this coming through the water column is it's got a very nice profile to it. Again, it's just another tool. If you are fishing, maybe you're fishing a tournament, and the A rigs are, if they're not outlawed, they only have certain restrictions that allows you maybe 3 hooks or 5 hooks, depending on what state you're in. This right here can be a great alternative to that. And it's small, compact, it won't wear you out. And of course, a lot of times I will fish this with smaller swim baits on the top too. But fish, they were on bigger bait, and I wanted to give them a nice profile, something they couldn't turn down, so to speak. But you can change this out, because these are Context, of course, and I mean, you could go all the way down to 1.5 inch. They make them all the way down to 1 inch, I believe, on the JDM market. and switch this up and even go bigger on this and just give it a nice profile. That is a killer looking profile for a nice little school rig. You can imagine fishing this slow on the bottom with a nice slow retrieve. It's going to get you bites. Of course, with these wires, and I've had this happen, when they'll attack this thing, these screw locks here, they will get tore up. Not the screw lock, but the bait will. They'll come up and they'll hit the whole bait. You know, they'll grab the whole bait, or they'll just grab one side of it coming in from the side, and it'll tear or rip these baits. So it's good to throw your little super glue on there to hold them on and get them set, get everything set before you go out. That's the only issue I have found with these. Other than that, they hold up. These hard plastic wires hold up. As you see, it's got that perfect, and that's another reason I went with that size too. It's got that perfect angle to it, as opposed to this one. These baits are a lot lighter. It's got a little bit of a bend to it, but it was something on that day when I was fishing these little duck fins. They don't have as much action. You can see the tail on them. Even though they're pronounced, they're nowhere near the size, and that's the same size swim bait. They're nowhere near the size tail of that Cotech. And they were on this bait. I throw you a little glue on there and throw you a clip on this bottom one. It'll hold it in place. But you are good to catch more than you can make several catches on one bait if you've got them secured nicely. This is what they look like in the package. Let that zoom in on it. They're called the PDL head. This is the white pearl in 3/4, and this is the white pearl in half. So they're not overly large. They're very compact, as you can see. And I tell you what I'd like to see on this. What would be awesome is if there was a way you could maybe turn this into a have a scrounger head some way on a smaller version of this. I think that would definitely be a catcher. Just another tool, guys, and this is in the underspin category. You got your nice bait fish profile. Sometimes you don't need those. Sometimes just a nice underspin with a nice bait, you can catch fish all day. But with as many people that are fishing nowadays, and with tournaments, you're getting 200, 250 boats in each tournament. A bait like this is a plus. And you'll hear that said a lot. It's not the bait, it's the location, and this is correct. I mean, you have to find fish before you catch them, and we all know that. And with today's technology, there's a lot of things that aren't hidden now. So it's kind of like reverting back to before we had our electronics, when secret baits seemed to do, was the big deal. So I'm a big believer in trying to find the oddball baits and finding something a little different in that category that will catch fish and get you a few extra bites, whether you're fishing a tournament or just out with the family having fun for the weekend. And this is definitely one of them. This right here is a winner. Tackle Warehouse has these. Again, it's a Longus bait, LONGAS, and longusbaits.com. I'll put the address in the description. With any luck, I'll be on and it's looking good, I'll be on the water next week. A lot of these baits that I have showed and I'm going to show, I've been holding back on a lot of them. I wanted to wait to get on the water, so I don't only just show you right here in the bait room, but I can take them out and let you see the action of them and how they look coming through the water, and more importantly, the success they have. But just wanted to share this with you guys. It's a little quick clip. Nice little underspin. It's got that little schooling profile to it, as long as you match up your baits just right. And I had a gentleman on there on that post mentioned that he would go smaller with these, and of course you can, but let the fish tell you, if and in quick in the pre-spawn, use bigger baits. Start with bigger baits, and them fish are moving up. if you're fishing shallow or even fishing deep, but if you're fishing shallow, them fish are up there to feed. They are hungry from the winter. They're wanting to get fed up for the upcoming spawn. And there's all the bait fish from last year have grown, so they're not they're not small size. Not that you can't catch them on small baits, but you know make sure you add some bigger baits to your arsenal, because that's a lot of times at the beginning of the year in the pre-spawn, moving up to when they get on beds, they're hunting big bait, and it would shock you just how big of a bait these fish will hit. It did me. I was a big believer long ago, years ago. 10-inch worm or 12-inch worm is just too big, man. No, they hit things a lot bigger than that. My eyes were open in Louisiana when I saw, baby ducks and baby alligators and big snakes, you name it. If it goes in that territory and it's a trophy bass, if it's a 6, 7, 8, 9 on up, they're going to eat it. They're going to try anyway. So thanks, guys, for spending your valuable time with me. I know they're just quick little bait room videos. It's nothing fancy. I just want to show a lot of these baits that I have that I get a lot of questions about on Instagram. Again, I've got a killer giveaway on Instagram. Check it out at southernbasser_, and I believe it ends next week, I'm pretty sure, so there's still time to jump in if you'd like. Again, thank you, guys. I hope you have a great rest of the day and weekend coming. God bless and tight lines, my friends.